The Fearless Fund suit is heating up in Atlanta's 11th Circuit. A panel of 3 appellate judges on Saturday temporarily blocked Fearless Fund from awarding its $20,000 Fearless Strivers grant to black women entrepreneurs as the lawsuit filed against it makes its way through courts. The American Alliance for Equal Rights, AAER, led by Edward Blum, who was behind the efforts to overturn the affirmative action, sued Fearless Fund in August, alleging that its Strivers Grant program discriminates against non-black women. Judge Robert Luck and Andrew Brasher, both appointed by Donald Trump, agreed with the AAER, calling the grant racially exclusionary, and said it violated Section 1981 of the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which barred racial discrimination in contracts. But another judge, Judge Charles Wilson, who was appointed by Bill Clinton, dissented and criticized AAER for weaponizing the Civil Rights Act of 1866 as it was initially targeted to help the formerly enslaved. AAER fails as an organization, bringing a Section 1981 claim on behalf of white members, the inclusion of Asian business owners, while a racial minority does not cure the inclusion of white business owners, Wilson wrote in his dissent. So, very interesting case here. But this dude, Edward Blum, who helped overturn the affirmative action cases with schools and stuff, he's the one going at this. And essentially what they're saying is that these black capitalists who want to pool this money to help these black business women grow, they can't do that because that's a racial thing now. Okay. It's racially biased against non-black folk. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. How do you feel about that? Is he correct? Does he have a point here? It's kind of against what the objective of this whole thing is, which is to help catch these people up from a system that had them held behind. So, by every right, I think they should be able to go ahead and do this. But do they have a leg to stand on with the counter?
Not really. I don't think so, just because I think the whole point of these regulations were to help these minority groups that had been discriminated against so that they couldn't continue to be discriminated against. There's no danger of discrimination against white people to get those sorts of loans, funds, or anything to get their businesses started. We see it in all the numbers, so we understand that white people don't have as much trouble getting loans as black people or any other people of color. And, it has a range across those different, nationalities. But either way, having something that specifically supports people who there is still evidence of discrimination going on today, it makes sense to be able to do that. And I also think it makes sense that a couple of Trump judges would weaponize the Civil Rights Act in a manner like this.
Yeah, and, not for nothing, but on its face, when I look at it, I think this is a fucking asshole who wants to do everything he can to stop black people and minorities, probably in general, from having any help or benefit or advantage in anything.